Today, we're diving into some really powerful ideas from the theologian Dietrich Bonhoeffer, all about community. We're drawing from his book, Life Together, and you'll see why his words, even all these decades later, can still hit you with just incredible force.
So, let's just jump right in with a question that gets to the heart of it. Do we take our communities for granted? It's so easy for the people and the places that are always there to just kind of fade into the background. But what are we actually missing when that happens? And that leads us right into this first big idea, looking at community not as something we're owed, but as a gift. A gift that, let's be honest, we often forget we've even received.
I mean, it's a familiar feeling, right? The people we see every single day, they can almost become part of the scenery. Our gratitude turns into a routine, and the words thank you start to lose their weight. We say them, but do we really see the person we're talking to? Okay, and this is where Bonhoeffer completely flips the script. He doesn't just call community a gift. No, he calls it a grace that we can actually see and touch. The visible community is a grace. Just think about that for a second. With these few words, Bonhoeffer elevates the simple act of being together into something more. He's saying it's not just a nice thing to have. It's a tangible, physical expression of a divine blessing that we get to experience. And just so we're all on the same page, when Bonhoeffer uses the word grace, he means something very specific. It's an undeserved gift, something we didn't earn. It's a tangible blessing that we get to experience firsthand, not something we're entitled to. And to really make us feel the weight of this gift, Bonhoeffer uses this powerful move, contrast. He makes us look away from ourselves and consider all the people out there who are starved for the very thing we might be ignoring. I mean, look at this divide. On one side, you've got the simple privilege of gathering, of just belonging somewhere. And on the other, the deep, real pain of isolation, the kind felt by someone sick in bed, or someone imprisoned for their beliefs, or a person totally alone in a foreign country. When you see it like that, the simple ability to show up, well, that feels like an incredible privilege, doesn't it? But, just receiving this gift isn't the end of the story. Bonhoeffer argues it comes with a huge responsibility, the duty to make sure our community's actually a healthy one. And this is the million-dollar question. What happens if the community we're a part of, the one we love, is built on a shaky or even wrong foundation? That's when the gift of community can become something dangerous. And dealing with that, well, that takes real courage. First, you have to be willing to honestly look at your community's foundation. Is it really living by its own rules? Second, you have to recognize the danger if it's not, how a bad foundation can create this hollow, self-serving culture. And then, here's the hardest part, being willing to actually do something about it, even if it means leaving a place that has lost its way. And if you want to talk about courage, we only need to look at the ultimate example, Bonhoeffer's own life. It's an absolutely incredible lesson in perseverance against odds that are almost impossible to imagine. Bonhoeffer used this word, scattered, to describe believers. Now, for us, scattered might just mean we had a hectic week. But for him, writing under the shadow of the Nazi regime, that word carried the literal weight of life and death. The difference is just stark. Our hurdles are real, for sure. Work schedules, school, chores. But Bonhoeffer's reality was resisting an entire totalitarian regime, facing down a corrupt state church, and living every day with the threat of being thrown in prison for his faith. Now listen, this comparison isn't about making us feel guilty. Not at all. It's meant to empower us. The whole point is, if he could find a way to persevere through that kind of darkness, then surely we can find the strength to face our own challenges with that same courage and conviction. So that brings us from the why to the how. How do we actually build this kind of healthy, resilient community? Well, Bonhoeffer's life gives us a simple but really powerful framework. So, what do we actually do? His life boils it down to a powerful two-part formula. And it really comes down to this, prayer and action. It all starts with prayer, with connecting to the core purpose of your community. But it absolutely cannot end there. We have to act. We have to put those principles into practice. Because belief without action is just an idea. Action is what actually builds things in the real world. And that's the ultimate test, isn't it? Talk is cheap. Our actions, though, they broadcast what we truly believe to the world.
A healthy community isn't built on a mission statement hanging on a wall. It's built on the daily, consistent actions of the people in it.
Okay, so to wrap all this up, let's get super practical. Think of this next part as your spiritual workout, a couple of exercises you can do to strengthen your own foundation, which in turn strengthens your entire community. Here they are, 2 ways to build that strength. First, do a read through. Read the Bible from cover to cover to really get the big picture story that should be guiding your community. Second, do a deep dive. Pick a single passage and just go deep. By understanding one little piece with real depth, you make your own foundation that much more solid.
So we're left with this challenge. If your community really is a gift, a visible grace, what are you going to do with it this week? What's one thing you can do to treat it not as a given, but as the precious gift it truly is?